Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Watch Stuff with us. I'm JD, and today we are reacting to and reviewing episodes 6, 7, and 8 of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. So if you liking what you see, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment below, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified each and every time we go live in 2025. So without further ado, we're going to get into this review. So yeah, just finished watching episodes 6, 7, and 8. I know it's been a little late, but I'm finally getting around to watching it. I have to say, this is a great show. Really, really, really enjoyed these episodes, and I have been completely surprised with the quality and how good these episodes are. So let's get into recapping episodes 6, 7, 8. We're going to use a Screen Rant review as a bit of a jumping off point and to give me some topics to talk about. So let's get that going. All right, I went and highlighted some things that I want to talk about. So it says Lonnie is put on academic probation due to all his time being spent with the 110. Yeah, Lonnie is quickly going downhill. I mean, this dude used to be a very smart student. I'm thinking that he was an honors student. I know he was in some of the same classes with Peter, so that speaks to his intelligence. He has completely fallen into the trap of being with the 110th, and that is dragging his academics down. It sucks because I hate to see someone as talented as him and as intelligent as him being led down this path by someone who is pretty much blackmailing him, and to see that potential sort of go to waste, it sucks. It sucks big time. Spider-Man finds Daredevil at Norman Osborn's computer. Fighting on the roof, Daredevil tells Peter that Osborn is hiding something. So yeah, we had an appearance by Daredevil, voiced by our live action Daredevil actor Charlie Cox. So that was cool. They got into a super heated battle. Nobody really got hurt, but they were definitely fighting and they were definitely going at it. So that was entertaining. I was not expecting Daredevil to appear on this, but you do know that he has a lot of ties to Spider-Man in the comics. Also, in the last Spider-Man movie, we had Daredevil actually show up. Well, not Daredevil. We had Matt Murdock show up as Spider-Man's lawyer. So, well, Peter Parker's lawyer. So yeah, I don't want to get that confused, but yeah, it's good to see them linked, and I really hope that we get to see more of Daredevil in this series, and also maybe some crossover and bleeding into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and have some Daredevil and Spider-Man interactions on there too. It says Harry accidentally reveals Peter's secret after Nico claims they told each other everything. So yeah, Nico is probably Peter's best friend, but for obvious reasons, and it's always a constant battle for every Peter Parker that we see, is that they don't want to share their secret because that secret comes with a tax, and that tax is that your friends and family who know who you are will either be worried about you, or you will have to constantly try to protect them. So you're just adding more to your plate by having more and more people know. So yeah, he didn't want to tell Nico this. I know that they said that they wanted to tell everything and they always told each other everything, but Peter obviously didn't want to tell her this for a very good reason. But now she knows, and now she's part of a ever expanding group of people who know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. It says that in the aftermath of Spider Man's encounter with Daredevil, Norman reveals his history with Otto Octavius, who stole Oscorp projects and took them underground for his own recognition. Norman believes Daredevil was hired by Otto. Yeah, Norman was wrong about that. I think Daredevil just stumbled on the scene and he was there trying to thwart what he deemed as being a possible threat. I don't think that he had put together that Spider-Man was actually a good vigilante, but I think he knows that by the end of the episode. And the fact that Otto stole all this material is something that we knew as well, and he is using it for his own good and trying to distribute that material on the black market to the highest bidder. So I really hope, and I mean, Otto has a reason behind it. The reason behind it is that he feels that he was spurned and not acknowledged by the larger group of people around him, and also by his boss Norman Osborn at the time, and also by just the people in general who see that these other vigilantes get all this credit, and he feels that he is just as bright, just as talented, and has just as much ability as they do, yet he is in the shadows. So he took all that material underground and kept it for himself, and is now selling it to the highest bidder. And eventually we know where this is going to go. Let's scroll down a little bit more. It says Harry meets with Nico to try and smooth things over. The duo eventually starts bonding and end up in a drag race with Hot Rod. At the end of the drag race, Nico is protected by her amulet, which looks to contain some kind of magical power tied to her family history. Now, this I don't know a ton about as far as the amulet goes. I know the amulet has protected her a little bit in the past with they show, and I'm guessing that we're going to end up seeing that amulet protect her more in the future. And it was cool to see her and Harry start to get a little bit of a bond. I don't know if that's going to develop into some sort of love interest for Nico. Nico seems to have a lot of options, and I'm really not sure exactly which way she's going to go with that. So we'll have to just keep watching and see what happens. Pearl comes to the 110th to confront Lonnie right as Gargan attacks in his new Scorpion armor, though Spider-Man soon arrives as well. Yeah, he broke out the new armor that he had gotten from Otto, and he is now officially the Scorpion. So Scorpion eventually gains the upper hand, overheating his armor before stabbing Spider-Man while Norman is distracted trying to locate Otto. So yeah, Norman was there kind of selfishly trying to figure out what's going on with Otto because he had a bit of a vendetta against him, and he was able to make the Scorpion's armor overheat, and that armor is now bonded to him because it overheated. So we know that he's not going to be able to take that armor off moving forward, and sort of submits him literally and physically into being the Scorpion. Norman sends a glider to save a wounded Spider-Man. Yeah, Scorpion was giving Spider-Man the business. Like, he had him on the brink of his demise, and Norman was able to save him with that glider. You saw the glider sort of come from the shadows, and I thought for a second that that glider was going to do sort of what happened to Norman in the first Spider-Man trilogy, where he ended up getting stabbed with the glider, but that didn't happen, and he used the glider for good. So I love how they portray Norman in this as being someone who is um, teetering on the edge. Like, you never know if he's fully good, you never know if he's fully bad. I think that he shows a lot of both traits, and I love that they're playing it relatively even throughout. Even when he does some sort of nefarious things, he has a reasoning behind it. That reasoning might be selfish, but he has a reasoning behind it where you can understand a little bit about what he does. That always makes a good villain. Let's see. It says Spider-Man is cared for by Oscorp doctors and scientists who take his blood. Animal subjects are also brought into Oscorp, presumably to test it. So yeah, Norman definitely had some ulterior motives behind bringing in those animals, of course. And then on top of that, I don't know if he planned and set up for Spider-Man to get beat down the way that he did, but I'd like to think that it was just sort of him taking advantage of a situation that was given to him. And because of that, he was able to withdraw that blood. And so now you have to wonder, what is he going to do with that blood? While in recovery, Norman says he needs Spider Man to reach a higher level, and that their relationship might need to end if he can't do so. He said, with great power comes great respect, which I thought was a great twist on the Uncle Ben line of, with great power comes great responsibility. So we see that Norman is sort of playing to Spider Man's and Peter Parker's sort of insecurities, which is really cool to see. And it's something that I can see someone doing. And we'll have to see if that changes Peter in any way, because if it does, it might lend to him being more aggressive or willing to do harm, which is something that Peter Parker and Spider-Man really do not do. Says Peter suffers from nightmares and he's worried that he'll never be strong enough. Yeah, that's self-doubt. That self-doubt is like key to the beginning and origin of Peter Parker turning into Spider-Man. I think that that's something that even in the MCU that we've seen Tom Holland Spider-Man go through. I don't feel like he's at his most confident yet, but usually that confidence comes at a point where he gains the symbiote suit, and sort of teeters to the dark side. So I mean, on both sides with this show that we're watching, and also in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I cannot wait until we get to that point. Like those are always fun times when you get symbiote Spider-Man. And let me see if I have anything else highlighted. Yeah, two more things. It says Peter talks with Norman, who tells him to stop holding back and embrace his power. With great power comes great respect, like I said before. Super good line. I can't wait to see where they end up going with that. Harry tells Peter that what Spider-Man needs to be should be up to him before revealing that he had a new costume made and inspired by Peter's design. So you have Harry and Norman sort of double teaming Peter a little bit. And Harry tells him that it should be up to him what he needs to become. Norman is telling him that, like, hey, you need to be more. You need to stop holding your punches, stop pulling your punches, as he said. And which way is Peter gonna go? It's a tough choice for him. I would believe, because I think Peter Parker has a good nature, but sometimes you need to let a little bit of that good nature go in order to be effective at what you're doing. But if he does let that go, does he let it go too far and possibly cross over into the dark side? Man, it's a great show. Can't wait to see where they end up going with that. So yeah, there you have it. Episode 6, 7, and 8 wrapped up succinctly by your boy JD. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Watch Stuff with us. I really hope that you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment below, do all that stuff, because it really, really, really helps our channel out. And if you like this content, you will do those things, and I command you to do those things. No, I don't command you, but I really, 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 really would appreciate it if you did. If you also like Daredevil Born Again, we cover that each and every week. You can go check in the archives of all the videos that we put out about it. You can also check the live stream that I run personally myself every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Central Time, which is 30 minutes Central Time before the episode debuts on Disney Plus. Then we have a watch party. I talk about it during the episode, and then afterwards we give a review and recap, and it is a ton of fun. Get a good turnout to that every week, and we have a lot of fun hanging out and talking. So if you like those kind of things, and if you're watching this video this far, I'm sure you do, please, please, please come and hang out with us and watch it with us. So, like I said, my name is JD. I really appreciate you for turning in and tuning in to this video. I'll see you when I see you. Peace.